through the dial, had watched the news in a while. Turn on CNN, ain't see none of my friends. Swag gave me the blues, they never walked in my shoes. They want us living in fear, it ain't what I'm trying to hear. Switched it over to Fox, kept clicking, I barely stopped. New guests on NBC, no one that represent me, so I got tired of waiting. Sit master debate, give me some headlines, it must be past bedtime. Sleeping on me still like I ain't vitamin D for real. Rep your city, play devil's advocate. Wayne Brady gon' have to smack a bit. Tell me something good, a recipe for success. Give me some timeline, shop session and flight deck. Hey, P, what's next?
What you want, baby? For the lovers in the building. What you need is to be right here next to me. I said, what you want? Say it again. I said, baby, I got it. What you need is right here next to me. Right here next to me. It ain't no secret who I'm writing this for. It's the one and only lady that I adore. I'm thinking about your smile while I'm writing this track. And
Yeah. It's your nigga C.O.D, the Cater Boy Music, aka Tabula Rasa, aka Big Tabby, aka C.O.D, Chosen One David. And I'd like to welcome you guys to an early afternoon edition of Gimme Some Headlines. And this is season 1. Episode 16. And because it's early in the day, I remember the episode number. Usually y'all have to go to another one for that. You feel what I'm saying, man? You're shit. But as we creep up here on football season, man, you know, these flight decks, man, they've morphed into social contract discussions, almost like it being my Jerry Springer's corner, but on the front of the episode, man, just talk about society a little bit. And this week was a little bit different, man. I had a barrage of options, but I just dropped in. And when I say I have no idea what the fuck I'm finna talk to y'all about, we gonna find out together. But kind of was fighting its way to the forefront. There's a conversation around balance. I've been like facing My Wife and Kids, the series, and there's so many elements of relationships and different problems and shit that I had as a grown man that I didn't realize I saw play out in sitcom form. And that in and of itself is fucking hilarious, with just knowing these people were drawing off of real life fucking experiences. And if I'm gonna talk relationships, the social contract and balance, man, before I even tell y'all what I'm gonna tell y'all, I gotta make sure I bring in my ride or die, man. And if y'all already know, if you fucking with C.O.D, you fucking with my nigga P. Here you talking about.
You're in love with somebody else when you should be in love with yourself. Today
It's
I'll
your
do
boy,
a couple good
P. Henry
deeds.
Trotter IV,
Oh,
a.k.a. Home Run Trap, a.k.a. Casino P, a.k.a.
Cha-ching.
Mr. Long P, a.k.a. Mock Tube, a.k.a. Quinn with the pen, and also with the lens, a.k.a. what the fuck is going on, cuz? How we doing today, man? On this early edition, we hopped in this thing on the early.
No, right, man. We mellow as shit. Don't tell them what time it is. You can tell we both mellow as shit. You be hype as fuck at night, cuz. That was a very reserved alias list right there, my guy.
Yeah, man. We be hyped up at the night.
Oh, you flexing hard that episode. You ain't shit. When you get the flight ball mug?
Shawty got me these, man.
How long ago?
When she got the thing on the wall.
Oh, okay, yeah. That should have been a staple. I'm finna get my C.O.D mug ordered this week, man. I'm finna, yeah. I'm hating. Fuck you, kid. Balance, nigga. Yeah, I'm talking about, bro. But can I tell you, bro? This is gonna be a flight deck / give me some TV. You did what I'm saying?
Okay.
And basically, bro, feel free to derail this bitch and just start talking about some shit that's on your heart or that you've thought of from something you consuming.
Yeah.
But bruh, it's so many different elements of shit in this fucking show that pop up. And what support from a man look like and what support from a woman look like, totally different, bruh, within a relationship. And if you remember the arc of the show, it begins with the central difficulty in the relationship being Jay really wants to work. She wants to establish something, have a life of her own, feel like she's carving her own path out. Because the children are getting older and she feels like her life is getting redundant. She's living the same day over and over, which I have a great deal of respect for. And support for Mike looked like taking on a bigger role with the kids, seeing his wife a lot less. When he does see his wife, she's exhausted from work. You know what I'm saying? They make love a lot less. Problems come up with the work and like all kind of stuff come into play. And I'm like, and then, you know, moving forward in it, she loses her job and he has to be supportive through the transition there and help her figure out what the next phase look like. Yeah. And then she decides she wants to come work at his company. And then she decides she wants to go and get her degree in psychology. And like each stage, it is his role as her partner to simply support her full tilt through each of whatever she's chosen to do. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And from a social contract standpoint, like, obviously, it's just a silly ass TV show, but I've lived a lot of this life. You see what I'm saying? And I won't reference my personal shit. I'll just talk about it in the realm of my wife and kids. As the nigga who has been the financial backstop, when does his story get to have those wild ass deviations and she saw her support through him completely change? He doesn't get to do that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it fits into this narrative of what gender roles existed as. The woman's role needing to be eradicated to create balance in the world. And the great imbalance that I see coming and slowly being manifested is the male gender role not changing one fucking bit. We still are supposed to be everything we were as our partners from a social contract standpoint, not just these little things I'm talking about with my wife and kids. But as a society, we as men are supposed to be the same partners as the gender role for our partner gets eradicated and they get to be absolutely whatever they want to. And us being a good partner and the other half look like supporting them through every change in morphology. And I'm just simply asserting that there is absolutely nothing on the other end of that to balance it. What are your thoughts on that?
While you was talking, I thought in my head, man, I think you're examining this from the wrong lens. And, or not the wrong lens. I don't think you're examining it from enough lenses. So I know that part of society and like how the woman's role in a relationship is evolving while the man's is largely stayed stagnant. And so, but I've seen it in a very healthy relationship. I've seen it look differently. And rest in peace.
Outlier.
I've seen an outlier. And so now that I've seen an outlier, I'm willing to have that conversation with Shawty, like with my Shawty, about what does our situation look like. And I believe they all, like, it should look differently based on the people who are, I know we're talking about social contracts, but even with it being your microcosm, you and your partner, it's still social because it's between more than one person. I think that may be the definition of socialism.
I kind of want to box you in, if you don't mind. Yeah. Don't get too far, because I want you to take this to a very direct level and respond to what I'm saying about there not being even a chance for balance with the new construction of gender roles. I believe true equality and balance would be people starting to raise their sons with the belief that they could be stay-at-home fathers as a game plan.
Yeah. And that's what I was getting to.
You see what I'm saying? So respond directly to the social contract aspect of this. You feel what I'm saying? I really want you, I don't want the time to get away from us and you not really attack the balance issue within the destruction of the other gender role, but there being nothing changing on the other side.
Work on answering this in less than like 5 sentences then.
No, you got time, but I want you to get it.
That I understand. So I know a guy who is a stay-at-home dad. You saying the same way we are raising our children as we should to be more accepting of gender fluidity, to be more accepting, because traditionally mankind hasn't been accepting of sexual fluidity. We need to have gender role fluidity. And so we need to be accepting of like how folks would be like if you saw your child doing something like how Kevin Hart told his kid, stop that, that's gay. And folks like now that's not acceptable. So when you see a young man doing something that would be stay-at-home daddish, and like a woman come and say, don't do that, you're going to end up being at home while your wife at work. As a dad, step in and say, that's perfectly fine if that's the life you want to live. But I like make it more acceptable. Like when you parenting, have that same, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Like, nah, bro, you can go out there and you can find you a woman who
I feel like
hell bent on being a doctor or a lawyer and is going to bring in all this money, and you just take care of the household.
Women in those fields find themselves among the highest percentage of the unmarried because they hold the same tenets of old gender roles. Their partner needs to have a higher education level and or salary than them. This is the shit I'm talking about. And part of why I kind of wanted to stop you and try to take you off course from talking about a homie, I know who you're talking about, homie who will stay at home pop, is because if you think about this in race relations, oftentimes opposition will spend all of the conversation talking about the outlier and then pontificating about a world where that's the norm and that's what we need to work to. No. Let's talk about what the fuck it is and what they expect. It's women with their Cash App next to their motherfucking Twitter at. Like if you follow them, you're supposed to send them money type shit. I'm talking about the true destruction of what the gender role and what is okay and what's not hoish, any of that, the complete destruction of the gender roles or conversation around it, and the exclusion of anyone outside of these individual segregated communities. Y'all, if you're not in it, you don't get to speak on our community, let alone our role in a relationship or society. But if you are part of any majority, everybody else can say whatever the fuck they want to about y'all. Everybody else can question your identity as much as they fucking want to. Who doesn't speak on what heterosexuality is? Who doesn't try to say, oh, you insecure, you must be gay if you da-da-da-da-da. Like, you can say whatever the fuck you want to a heterosexual person. A heterosexual male, in the realm of sexuality, in the realm of disrespect within a relationship, in the realm of criticism and expectation, there are no boundaries for a heterosexual male, period. And when you step outside of that majority or patriarchal power position, There are no more roles. There are no more limits. There are no more definitions and no more okay conversations that exist outside of the community you're talking about. Women, LGBTQ, if you are not in that subsect, your opinion on them don't fucking matter. Heterosexual cisgendered men are the only people whose gender roles have remained the same and are free game for whatever the fuck you want to say about us. Homosexual men, there are plenty of stay-at-home fucking fathers. Probably damn near 50%. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just from the mechanism of the structure of prioritizing someone from the familial unit being a staple in the child life. One of us gonna be here, period. Because we can. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it ain't uncommon in that community. It's just uncommon as fuck in the heterosexual community. It's the destruction of roles in every community outside of ours. And I want you to speak to that. You got the rest of the time, bro. And I just had to really paint that without commenting on it, but I'm just saying, I see it as clear as day. The roles for everyone else have changed. The limits for everyone else have been knocked down and eradicated.
Well,
I've said this long before we had a podcast. If you ask the average woman what a real woman is, she will describe herself. If she works, a real woman go out, get the bacon, bring it home and cook it too, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm still in my kid's life. Da-da-da. If she's a stay-at-home mom, a real woman stays at home, take care of her kids, and blah, 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 blah. Ask them what a real man is. You're going to get a strict, clear motherfucking definition. And everybody going to have an opinion on it. It ain't going to be your own personal definition. Be a nigga who's scared of spiders and see if they don't question that aspect of your masculinity. No, you're supposed to go kill the scary, creepy crawler things. Be a man that don't know how to fix shit. Be a man that don't know how to change a tire. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is an aspect of masculinity where you are deficient. Be a woman who can't cook and watch everybody attack anybody who say something negative about it. But yeah, the rest of the time is yours, bro. Speak on that shit, but speak on it directly, not roundabout, bro. Address that shit. This social contract talk, I need something I could write in a book, nigga. Address that shit.
Man, it's difficult because I'm of sound mind and body that be the world that you want to see. Like I'd have to be the example of the opposite of what's actually going on. Like, or state these facts. Like we have this platform right here, but hop on the Twitter webs and pose this question. Like, this may need to be a poll that we put up on the show and like and retweet. Is that
You and your internet running from this conversation. Your audio and your video froze. So I'm gonna talk to the people for a second. If y'all notice, he don't want to talk about this, man. He be juggling sometimes and then going, we just go keep it pushing, man. Well, first of all, do you believe that hypothesis or assertion is true, that the gender roles and roles societally for everyone else are morphing, growing, changing, and limits are being knocked down, but that does not exist within the heterosexual male community?
I do agree. Yeah. From the world that I live
Speak to that issue.
Change it for us.
Is that a problem, or do you think that's how it should be?
I don't give it much thought because I'm not in a situation where it affects me. So like in my household, I have the freedom to have that discussion with my lady, and we'll come to a compromise, and we are actual adults, and so we understand that how shit is currently constructed. If it don't suit us, then
I'm getting angrier and angrier. When you watch this back, you'll notice you ain't said shit about this shit, and I hate to be that direct, but I realize that, but we talking about it from a social contract standpoint, and I can't pin you down to actually speak on the shit. That's our time, man. Fuck it. But I'm furious.
Like, I don't get what you're trying to get me to say. Is I know nothing about the actual social contract because I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm not dealing with it. So therefore, do I think it needs a change? Absolutely. I think
you didn't get kicked out of the Olympics for smoking weed, but you found a way to talk about Sha'Carri Richardson. You could have found a way to respond directly to the question at some point, and I don't think that was accomplished. We could move forward, though. No, I'm not going to be less mad.
I'll address it, bro. That shit not going to change. Like, this shit not going to change. Niggas is going to continue to get boxed into whatever fucking box everybody else want to throw us into. And that's just how the shit going to fucking go. It's just how it's going to fucking go. Like, do I think? Absolutely. We need to be able to have the same type of freedom that every fucking body else got to change or whatever subgroup we in, to be able to change the narrative on what our subgroup looks like or the rules for our subgroup look like. But we not going to get that shit, bro. Or if we do try to change it, it's going to be just as difficult as everybody else's has been to get to where the fuck they going to be at. Or you're going to get it thrown back in your face where y'all got everything all fucking ready because y'all like heterosexual. The world is catered to y'all. Which is why I made that comment that heterosexual men are the white men of sexuality. And you made the comment that, well, I ain't a white man of shit, but we are the majority. So being in the majority, like, and being a black man in this shit, like, we don't make the fucking rules.
And that's what's most disgusting in the first place. The assertion that we the majority. I ain't even gonna speak on this issue no more. You did do a better job of talking directly on the talking point, but to speak toward what you just said, let me just squash the notion that heterosexual men are the majority of any fucking thing. We as human beings build mechanisms, and then we use them to relate to the world. So when we think of oppressed community and oppressor, we think white people slavery. So then we take that logic to everything. I'm gonna ask you a very direct question. Who are the majority, women or men? People on the planet?
Women.
You goddamn right it is. So how the fuck are heterosexual men the majority when there are tons of homosexual men? And for anybody to be married, that takes a man off of the market. How the fuck are heterosexual men the majority?
It's the perception.
That's what the fuck I'm saying. They apply. No, but let me take it there for you. Because Christians are the majority. Anyone who's been oppressed, disenfranchised, or disrespected by the Christian community, they say wild, disrespectful, aggressive shit about Christians. They speak on Christians. They quote scripture at them that applied to the 1400s. And go, why don't you do this? Did you sacrifice a goat? Did you do this? Did you do this? Then you're not a real Christian. They question and they question. They say whatever they want to about Christians. They take that and they apply that to any situation where there's a community that has been seen as the majority or the front-running community, and they act like we enslaved homosexuals. You see what I'm saying? And they apply oppressor rebellion to heterosexuals. They say whatever the fuck they want to about us. They do aggressive, wild shit to us. They speak on our community without limit. They do not eye for an eye. They do not give what they seek. They act as if being a person who is attracted to the opposite sex makes me someone who oppressed them. And that's some fucking bullshit. They act like me being someone who is attracted to the opposite sex means I've benefited from 400 years of economic superior. Like, they act like my ancestors built the country off the back of homosexuals. That's how they treat heterosexuals. You feel what the fuck I'm saying? They act like heterosexuals' ancestors built the country off the back of homosexuals' hard work and free labor. And that's not what the fuck it is. That's how our gender role, our community don't get to speak on our own fucking community. That's how every other community get to say whatever the fuck they want to about heterosexuals. When you take heterosexuality and treat it like slave masters. That's what this whole arc was. And I wanted to give you the floor to speak on the issue because I thought you may have some counterpoints or some softer elements of how this plays out in society. Even down to something basic like, I seen a lady moving in to the complex and it was just her and her little jit. When I saw the couch hit the edge of the ramp, I was like, y'all get out the way. And it was like, excuse me. I was like, y'all get out the way. And I just carried the shit up the steps, sat it in the living room, and then I walked down and went to minding my fucking business. It was just second nature. It wasn't even a fucking discussion. You understand me?
Yeah.
That's way too heavy for the woman and her son to be trying to move by themselves. It wasn't even nothing to think about. How often does a nigga who ribs touching have a woman he don't know come cook him dinner? Never. Fucking never. There is no balance to chivalrous shit either, bruh. Our gender role, our role in society ain't fucking changing, bruh. It ain't changing at all. And there are things that there have never been there to balance. But for the eradication of things we depended upon that help solidify what our expectations are to be gone, but our role to not change is flat out fucking bullshit. And to wonder why so many niggas refuse to get married, it's because they not fucking stupid. It ain't because they afraid of commitment. It's because they dumb as fuck if they do agree to some shit like that obligate them to every responsibility of the union, whether they a part of it or not. And what they agreeing to some half-ass dumb shit anyway. What they getting ain't worth the selling pitch. It ain't worth what the risk is. What you used to get was way more fucking valuable than what you getting today. Point blank, period.
And I think that's a whole other conversation in itself. But I had a couple comments. One comment was, you mentioned how we are being treated like we are benefiting from owning slaves, like we're enslaving homosexual people, and like they treat us like we're their oppressors, and largely
like I don't want to eat in a restaurant with homosexuals or something. I don't give a fuck. I love y'all like I love everybody.
Sexual. So
but for the people who just attracted to the other sex and who just live life and love y'all like they love everybody, fuck that being treated like I'm some oppressor, bro. Fuck that shit, cuz.
I understand.
Especially when the mechanism and structure of life and society hasn't created a history where you should be able to treat just a random motherfucker who like the opposite sex like an oppressor. The sexuality spectrum differences does not exist in the oppressor structure like white to melanated people across the globe. That's not the same shit, and they get treated the same. The Christian, non-Christian oppression that has existed around the globe, that shit don't apply to the spectrum of sexuality. And that need to be cut the fuck away. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. You want me to tell you a term I have never heard? Cut me off after I say this. Heterophobic. I have never heard anyone accused of being heterophobic. When there is countless conversation around absolutely every fucking thing involving us, they constantly question what we do, constantly call things we do gay. When Spoken Reasons was excited to take the steak from Salt Bay, comments all under there. If my man did this shit, this would be our last date. Da, 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 da. When Amari Cooper refused to take it off of his knife and had to take it off with his hand. Why are men so insecure? Da, 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 da. We can't fucking win. When we gonna start calling motherfuckers heterophobic? Huh? That's what I mean by balance. When are we as a community gonna get to tell everybody else, shut the fuck up? Now cut me off.
Yeah, man. Nah. I feel like we can go 2 hours on this shit alone, man. Like I get what the fuck you saying. I truly do.
Are you with these flight decks becoming these social contract tabula rasa talks?
Yeah, because the show gonna get a hook. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot short on the back end because these are things that you can talk about for hours.
Yeah,
like,
and the tension high. I ain't never went at you like that. I was like, say it.
Heterosexual people get heterosexual, and it seems like it's just mostly men. Because women can kind of fall back into like their own box.
Women can experiment in college and not be gay. Right. It's a reason I said men role ain't changing at all.
But that's the thing.
The discussion ain't changing either.
I mean, homosexual people's oppressors have been heterosexual people. And so it's that all white.
Not true. Not true. How many of these family values motherfucking Republicans have been caught with a secret male lover? A lot of their oppressors have been homosexual people in the goddamn closet. That's the bullshit. The discussion, if you look at the actual history.
It's not bullshit.
You feel what I'm saying?
Because it's not bullshit.
But the balance is you got to talk about both. You feel what I'm saying? No, Don't say a lot of their oppressors have been heterosexual. Their oppressors have been from both communities.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, I'm sorry I cut you off, but
folks lash out. People who are like, when they have those folks who are closet homosexuals who appear straight in broad daylight, but they moonlight is homosexual, they feel that oppression, and it when it comes to the exterior, that is what they oppress other homosexual people, so they don't appear homosexual to the folks.
I can understand the psychology behind. I respect that, and I can understand the psychology. I feel like to kind of put your assertion in my terms, and you tell me if I'm understanding or digesting it correctly. If you internally believe that you can't stand in the sunlight and be loved, you believe that casting a shadow is a way to ascend. So that's why it's a part of their platform, because they feel they can't be truthful. So by oppressing others, it will, you know what I'm saying, step their way by stepping on others up. Is that what you kind of asserting? That's why people from their own community have been a part of the oppression cycle, but it's because it was their way. They believed it to be their way toward being accepted.
Well, they had to pretend so they fit in. Like for whatever reason, they had to pretend to be a part of the community that they weren't a part of when they wanted to be a part of another community, but they saw how the community if they were posing as a heterosexual, they saw how heterosexual people treat homosexual people, so they have to appear to be heterosexual and do the same thing that those heterosexual people are doing to their counterparts that they want to be a part of, but they are part of this community, so they have to. It's kind of like frat boys. Like, I don't want to haze these motherfuckers, but if I don't haze, as a big dog, if I don't haze, then they gonna.
You didn't want to. You didn't want to haze. You didn't want to haze.
I didn't want to haze. No.
Man, I couldn't wait to be pledge master. Fuck that. I want to stay free.
Nah. But that also is, those communities are more of a community, and they fight together to do whatever their goal is. They're working towards that goal. We don't have, like, we are so factioned in the heterosexual community, and I don't feel like we fighting this battle as a unit. Like how you and I, we see eye to eye on this shit. We may have different perspectives in detail, but we see, like, I see exactly where you're coming from. Like, there is no, like if I wanted to stay at home and work on writing and shit all day, and my lady has a nice director position, then I'll be seen as less of a fucking man. And it's like, well, my writing is,
and even if your lady was okay with it, your circle would comment and question and talk about you constantly. If they were not brave enough to do it to your face, they do it behind your back to her. Constantly 100%. Devalue and question you.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's a social contract. We're talking about it from a societal standpoint. You did.
But which is why I feel like, how many people do you know that have these opinions that you have are actually articulating this on a larger scale and making this a part of the conversation? Like, nobody, like you said, nobody has ever heard heterophobic.
Square business.
Like nobody. Like,
because just to speak toward what you're talking about from a personal standpoint, I have been in relationships that have been completely reversed from what traditional gender roles would be, where I was not the financial backstop, where I was the person who took care of the home and kept shit solid. I worked, but I wasn't even close to being a breadwinner. You did what I'm saying? Not even fucking close. Yeah, it said shit got crazy and my situation got hazy. Shawty bought another whip and threw me the one she was in. Like, understand that when I talk to y'all on other episodes about the universe sending me nothing but motherfucking blessings, I have been blessed. I am not talking like this because I have been in deficient relationships. I have been wildly fucking blessed. Even in the ones where I was bringing in more cake, balance was created in countless other ways, and I won't speak to why those situations didn't work out. But just to speak to why I'm screaming at P, stop talking about outliers. It's because if I did that, we wouldn't even talk about this, because all of my life has been an outlier when it come to the bitching we doing about these gender roles. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I've been in a relationship where the gender roles were flipped, the one I just discussed, one that I existed in for almost a decade. We got to do the shit the old-fashioned way. So it just wasn't a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was man, she was woman, spider, grass, pay that bill. I got you here, I got you here. Oh, you about to die? I keep you alive. You ain't gonna take your ass to the hospital? Okay. Here goes some extra sleeping pills. Hey, where the fuck we going? Okay, yeah, we at Northside. Go ahead, get your ass out. I'm finna park the car. You feel what I'm saying? It should like keep you alive. You want them stupid ass old cavemen. I got you, boo. Like, I have been blessed. And if I wasn't willing to talk like, I'll have a devil's advocate about the conversation around whether or not size matters. And once again, I will be speaking for a community I am not a part of. And you'll know what I mean once we talk about it. But if people like me don't bring shit like this up, people who are less equipped won't have a voice on this shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But like this, like everything we just discussed has not been a problem in my relationships. That's part of why I'm on your ass. Like, man, talk about this shit, please. Because you are wildly empathetic. And if you commit to putting yourself in someone else's shoes as an advocate, playing devil's advocate, something we do on this show, man, whatever community you choose to trumpet yourself for, whatever community you choose to shine a light for, they will be blessed. You feel what I'm saying? So in this conversation, I'm not saying be a heterosexual dick and tell everybody else fuck them. We already talked about it.
No.
That's me.
And I
does that. But you need to talk about it though. You feel what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for getting there. Be a little more open and willing. We'll get there. That was season 1 about though, getting there.
I got another comment. So the reason why I believe you see this attack on heterosexuality is because of other people's experience. And when your experience is one thing, like when you
in the royal sense, he not talking about me.
Yeah, you in the royal. Is
I'm sorry.
Folks' experience with heterosexuality has been so negative or has been traumatic or whatever that they've gone through with the heterosexual community that they want to see it dismantled. Like there are large groups of black, like I'm not one of the black folks who, like I've experienced racism 100% at the hands of white people countless times, but I choose to treat everybody individually. There are large groups of people who don't treat things at a case-by-case matter. So it said, like I was saying that how some people's sexuality or heterosexuality has been responsible for somebody's trauma or somebody's pain. So they believe that the entirety of heterosexuality needs to be dismantled. Like some groups of black people believe that whiteness has been the reason behind all of our pain, all of our trauma. So whiteness as an institution needs to be dismantled. And they don't treat things at that individual on an individual case-by-case basis. Like
okay, I heard case-by-case.
Yeah, the whole of this shit needs to go. Like we're not treating this shit individually. Like a lot of women have experienced that trauma with maybe one boyfriend that they thought that they was gonna marry. He's a heterosexual man, and so they get to see the conversation of homosexual people, but she's a heterosexual woman, so she jumping, hell yeah, fuck them niggas until I find me a good enough man, because we are largely selfish. And so we're willing to jump to whatever suits us at the time. And I think that's what you're seeing a lot of is like, this suits me, or I'm just going to project because the whole of a majority of my experience has been at the hands, my trauma and my pain has been at the hands of this group of people, because my family are a bunch of heterosexual assholes, and I came out to them, I confided in them, and they all jumped on me and cast me out of the family. So it's fuck heterosexual people, because that's been my experience with heterosexual people and the people that are the closest to me. So,
but if we as a community are going to openly and accurately call people who run around saying negative things about homosexuals just because of their sexuality, if we're going to, as a whole, see how fucking stupid and not okay that is, and going to get them right the fuck up out of here.
We got to do it in every situation.
You goddamn right. Because tabula rasa, if you can't put it here, it cannot be reproduced. And I'd be damned if you can run a fully negative ad campaign on heterosexuality. Everyone, heterosexual women, homosexual men, homosexual women, LGBTQ, everyone can run a negative ad campaign on heterosexual men and it not be okay to talk negative about any other community. Fuck y'all. We not gonna do that. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to run a negative ad campaign on us every goddamn day while saying it ain't okay to talk about any other community, because it don't make sense. There is no balance there.
It ain't.
At some point, people just going to stop giving a fuck. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's a negative ad campaign 110%, bro.
I'm not saying it's not a negative ad campaign. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever.
Think about the impact on a generation of calling people. Think about the impact on a generation of people where you call anyone at the moment that they share their sexuality and it is not heterosexuality. We call it brave and celebrate them. And as a world, people can say whatever negative shit they want to about heterosexuals. Think about the impact on a generation. From a blank slate to 50 years from now. From tabula rasa to half a century. Think about the impact on a generation where being anything but heterosexual is brave and courageous. And you can say whatever negative shit you want to about heterosexuals. I don't think that's okay.
No, it's the same situation that you get into where you made the what we talked about
pronouns.
How Lil Nas X attacked they were coming after him, and then he attacked the Christian community with some of his comments or a song or something like that. We won't reach that understanding if everybody's just trying to bully everybody. I got bullied, so I'm going to bully. But even so, like us being bullied as a heterosexual community, we not going to be able to just go and say fuck them and just continue to and bully them.
Words are powerful, and 90% of the people who discuss the Lil Nas X issue would say the sentence like this. He was attacked by the Christian community and he defended himself, not attacked back. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You said attack. 90% of people would say he defended himself. And I'm saying in no situation would a heterosexual be attacked and do something aggressively negative and it be called defending themselves. No. It would be an attack because that's what they are.
We have to be.
Because there are attacks on both sides and they're both negative things being put into the world.
100%. And
okay. That's the only thing. That's what I mean by balance. We have to see that it's negative.
No, I definitely understand.
It's negative for everyone outside of the heterosexual community to be able to have open conversations about us, say negative stuff, and admonish us and say all kind of fucked up shit about us in any way they want to, and think that their communities are protected from this type of conversation. If they don't understand the imbalance in that, then they have to accept that there will be a great deal of people who remain ignorant or just do not care because of their choice. It is a choice. Ignorance is a choice. If you refuse to see that imbalance, you have to accept that there will be people who refuse to see the ones that you want removed. Because the worst thing a disenfranchised community can do is only want the double standards that make it hard for them to see over the fence removed. Because then you're just simply asking for an unlevel playing field. Remove all of the double standards to create a playing field that is level. So if we, as different communities, are not going to disrespect and comment on other ones, if we, as different communities, are going to have ownership over our identity, how about people outside the heterosexual communities stop speaking on our shit?
Yeah.
At some point. It'd be called ignorant and heterophobic.
Speaking on yours, don't speak on
At some point, let's call them ignorant and heterophobic. When they start speaking on our shit, you ignorant and heterophobic. Fuck you. I can bachata to Selena all I want to in my socks. That's my shit. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Like, fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying?
We also need to have, I see,
I kid you not, bro. Because this was funny, bro. This little nigga got out the whip the other day, and he looked like he was getting ready to slam the door. I was like, "Don't you slam that goddamn door." And he was like, "What?" I said, "We both know you heard me." He like, "Man, play some gangster shit next time. Everybody ain't gay, bro. I ain't gonna care. I had on a crazy color blue wife beater or some shit like that. And the shit, I was playing Streets 94.5. If you in Atlanta, y'all know that's Young Jock and them in the morning. It's usually straight hood shit playing on that fucking radio station. But the song that just happened to play on his like little short shit was like, I think in Money Fight or some bullshit like that. Whatever that City Girl shit is. I don't want to sing it when I do my dance.
Gangster the most motherfuckers. What are you talking about?
But anyway, the whole point was I was like, my nigga, it's an iPad sitting right here. You could have heard whatever song you wanted to. Don't wait till you get out the car to say that, because it don't make you gangster and it don't get you what you want. What? I said, we both know you heard what I said. He closed the door. He didn't slam it. He like, just play some gangster shit next time. And I was like, if you ever get in my car again, I got you. Then they were like, everybody ain't gay. I said, I'm not gay either, bro.
Everybody ain't gay.
I was like, you could be as upset as you want to about the music, but I don't know why you think that's relevant, and I don't know why you think if I was that I'd give a fuck about that comment.
Can I paint a picture real quick?
Like, if anybody hearing this, is of the homosexual community, do y'all deal with dumb shit like that all goddamn day? Is niggas like this the reason this is a topic? Like, cause this is what made this a flight deck. It was him saying that, and I was like, do they deal with this shit all the time? Is this why they think they can say whatever the fuck they want to us? It's because niggas like this running around saying this type of shit to everybody he meet, trying to catch a homosexual. Oh, you is? Gotcha. I'm mad at y'all because this nigga probably gay. These probably this probably one of the family values in the closet dudes, because he probably running around saying stuff like that to people all day. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, G. He was headed to bed. You feel what I'm saying? That's the last thing he said to another person all day. I was like, and the funniest shit is, he one of them niggas that walk like he fell off a ladder. You know what I mean when I say that?
No.
One of his legs don't bend.
Oh, it's like that straight like joint where he's kind of launching off his legs.
Yeah, and he 5'4" if he 5 foot. So he a tiny little like I'm at least damn near a foot taller than this nigga. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To get ready to slam my door, and for me to be like, don't slam my goddamn door. He may have just said it trying to find a way to try to catch the upper hand. You feel what I'm saying? But it made him feel very small because he was mad about the city girls and wanted to just slam the door and storm off, and I ain't let him do that. So then he had to try to find a way to be more angry or dominant. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Yeah.
how does liking girls make you dominant when you walk like you fell off a ladder, is how I'm gonna keep saying it, because I don't want to say any community and disrespect them. You feel what I'm saying? But like, you should have seen how this nigga walked up to the car. It was hilarious, bro. It was very funny. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, bro. It's like,
it was funny, bro. And it took a lot not to laugh. Like, hey, it was like a nickname. It wasn't no name.
That's what people got to contend with. That's what people in the homosexual community, LGBTQ community got to contend with. Is people.
Oh, and that's what I was gonna say. If anybody in that community hear this, does this happen regularly? And does something like that actually shift you off your square? Like, is that something where you hear it and you're like, man, fuck you? Is my car my music? Eat a dick? Or is it like, whatever, it don't even get a response? Like, how do you respond to something like that? Is that something you get? Because if heterosexual people getting it, y'all have to be dealing with it. Is niggas out there just shooting a shot to see if they can offend people? Because you know if somebody black or melanated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know if somebody black or melanated, so you can hate them easily. You can just see it and be like, yeah. Are there niggas who insecure running around investigating like, yeah, okay, this nigga wife be the crazy color. What color that air freshener is? Okay. City girls. Okay, that's the trifecta. Got him. Yeah.
I think
he said JT was the last straw, period.
It's shitty people in every single community, whether it got to deal with race, whether it got to deal with religion, whether it got to deal with sexuality, whether it got to deal with gender. It's shitty people in every fucking subcategory. And large in part, people find like, well, people want to be part of a majority. And so they'll dive on somebody in a minority. And now you got to deal with, like, he's short, so it's tall people. Like, look at this short motherfucker. And now he angry, and he amped the fuck up, and now he like, man, fuck all tall people.
I see what you're saying.
Like, it's it is a perpetuating, right? I mean, you see them, like, it's.
Yeah.
So it's fucked up on all sides, man. It's not.
I didn't even realize this till you said that. People do put big in front of stuff to amplify insults.
Yeah, you big stupid head.
Yeah, yo big ugly, big dumb ass nigga. What? And then they be like, yo little fuck ass. Yeah. That had to come from little niggas just putting big in front of shit.
Yeah, to make it so.
Yeah. I like where your head at on that. See, now you in the realm of, see, you ain't smoking, but now you in my level. You feel me? Now you thinking how I need you thinking. Not to cut you off, but cut us off, man. You said we could go for hours on this. We did too. Go ahead.
Can I give you some headlines, man?
I need you to. That's the name of the show.
All right. First story, man.
Who is by?
This is by NBA.com.
You cut out. Who is by?
Reports. Lakers agreed to Russell. NBA.com. Am I back?
You are.
I'm back. Okay, cool.
Chris, do your thing.
Article. Lakers agree to Russell Westbrook trade, and that's on NBA.com. In PR, Simone Biles highlights the unique stresses athletes feel at the Tokyo Olympics. That is by NPR. And this next one is by Newsweek. That story is, who is Lamont Marcel Jacobs? Meet Italy's Texas-born Tokyo Olympics 100 meters champion.
Ugh. This one of the most not tough ones. Oh, that's unnecessary. This one of the most not tough ones ever. 1, 2, 3 into the Brodie. Fuck you talking about, man. Talk to me about Westbrook. Hey, you talking about, kid?
Yes, sir. Lakers.
Copyright, give me some headlines.com. I don't want to hear that 1, 2, 3 into the Brodie. Nowhere the fuck else, kid. Except for right here, kid. All season long. We in this, bitch. Talk to me about it.
Oh, man. Reports. Lakers agree to Russell Westbrook trade. The Los Angeles Lakers are wasting no time making changes after a disappointing first-round cameo in the 2021 playoffs. Multiple reports have the 2020 NBA champions acquiring former Kia NBA MVP and Wizards point guard Russell Westbrook in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Montrezl Harrell, and the 22nd overall pick of the 2021 draft. From read the trade Westbrook 2024 second round 2028 second.
You cutting out like a motherfucker, bro. You got to start saving them articles on your phone.
That was, yeah, I do.
That's an old player trick. You crisp as fuck now. When you back, you be back. I'm talking about you popcorn shrimp fly.
Yeah, man. But the trade can't be officially announced until August the 6th when the salary cap becomes official. Teams can make moves for the upcoming season. But yeah, they have agreed to that trade, man. And that means that, well, I'll let you, this will be a launching point for your response because I know you're a huge Brodie fan. So I'll let you take off, bro. How you feel about that thing, man?
Did bitch say I look like daddy? All I'm missing is some babies. Told me I need to stop playing and I can't hear what Shouty's saying. Cuddy weed I'm smoking too loud. Young nigga black and too proud. Hit the blunt then ash it while I back out. Blackout.
Back out.
God flow. GSH. Mary Magdalene. Yeah, I'm back again. Russell Westbrook. You know what? I'm averaging triple double. I don't care. They clap again. Do this shit for no praise or accolade. Dave Cray, who trying to catch the fade? Slap ball with it. Man, y'all heard me call Russell Westbrook. You know what? I'm averaging triple double. I don't care. They clap again. Wrote that freestyle last year, man. And that nigga proved me right. Soon as I seen he went to the Wizards, I said he averaging a triple-double again. Man, for niggas to sit and act like Chris Paul or one of these other niggas would have been better for the Lakers is flat out fucking disgusting. Let me be the first to tell you, Russell Westbrook right now would be a better number 2 than Dwayne Wade was at his level of health when Bron got to Miami and they went to 4 straight fucking finals. Tell me Dwayne Wade at that point had a better fucking 3-pointer than Russell Westbrook do. Tell me he had a better 3-pointer. Okay, silence. So at that point, tell me he had more explosion. Okay. At that point.
In 2010. 11. He didn't.
No, of course the fuck not. This nigga just came off a 20-point triple-double season. Dwayne Wade averaged like 19 points in them championship runs. And people acting like this nigga can't be the third piece. People acting like the Nets one put together to beat the Lakers without Westbrook. And now they asking, do they have a shot? This is the funniest thing about LeBron constructed teams. They laughed at him getting AD and the potential of them being able to do it just as a twosome. Now the NBA doesn't need a big 3. And then that became the storyline. Oh, okay. And then the big 3s get put together to try to beat them because they look way more fucking dominant than you thought they were going to be. The team that got Giannis right the fuck up out of here get smacked by that Laker team. KD and Kyrie look over there at Bron and AD and go, we ain't got enough. The most beautiful thing about this shit is the flat out fucking poetry that it creates. Let me construct the narrative for you and I toss it back to you, my brother.
Okay.
KD is on the hottest of hot seats. You want me to tell you why? Bron has the chance to win with the point guard he said he couldn't win with.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking in my head.
Bron already won with a nigga who hadn't made it out of the first round as his number 2. Now he about to go win with Brodie. So you can't make him your scapegoat for why the fuck you kept fucking off OKC runs.
In his 30s.
And guess what else make it even sexier? He went and won with Kyrie with Kevin Love as his number 3, bitch. You got an MVP as your number 3. It ain't no motherfucking excuses in Brooklyn. If you can't win with Kyrie and he won with young Kyrie who had never been to the playoffs, he went to 3 straight finals with a nigga who had never been to the playoffs, with a nigga who had 2 number 1 overall draft picks drafted to his team. That's how sorry Kyrie Cleveland teams was. When LeBron got drafted number 1 overall like Kyrie did, he didn't have another lottery pick come to his team. That's why he had to leave in free agency. Kyrie had 2 number 1 overall picks. Anthony Bennett was a miss, and then Andrew Wiggins got traded for K-Love. That's because Kyrie and his teams didn't win shit until LeBron got there. So all of this clutch shit they talk about ain't possible without that nigga. Because up until this year, he hadn't won a playoff series without him because he was injured for them Boston runs.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving had not won a playoff series that did not involve LeBron James until 2021. Call it whatever the fuck you want to. But I tell you what you're not going to do is let KD slide because LeBron won with a young nigga who hadn't been to the playoffs. He beat a 73-win team with a young nigga who hadn't been to the playoffs. That same nigga who want to take vacations and do all kind of mercurial crazy shit, he kept him focused enough to give him 40 a game and shit when the clutch time came. Obviously, Kyrie did not want to be there and be around this nigga. And he had him that locked in when he was on his team. You his best friend. Get him to show up to work, nigga. If you a leader, if you a champion, if it wasn't Steph Curry and his motherfucking leadership and Draymond and his leadership, because he about to take your excuse of Brodie away. It ain't Brodie. It ain't Brodie. He just went home to go get him a nice little set of jewelry. Here he time back. And he had to take no pay cut. I fucking love it. Because when I say it put KD in a box, that nigga in a box. Shredder.
And
please don't disappoint me, bro. Because a couple episodes, man, I talked about how great of a villain you have been and how amazing it's been to root against you even in the seasons where you won. Because you need the villain to smack up the turtles every now and again. And at some point, I hope LeBron go ball. Maybe to be this year, he'll give us the ball head season. Shredder, please do not disappoint. Kobe got to the finals and LeBron went out there and got his stupid ass smacked by Dwight Howard. Please give us the finals we want. I need Shredder to make it to the finals. LeBron, I know you got me because you got Brodie and the brow. LA 360, copyright GSH. LA 360, the brow number 3. LBJ number 6 and the Brodie coming home with the double O. Let go. You got the flow.
Got some shirts, man.
GSH LA 360 all season.
LA 360.
Patent pending.
Yeah, bro. I love it for them, man. Like I really do. Hopefully they go find them a cheap shooter somewhere. Because Brodie,
THT,
he's a slasher. He creates like nobody can stay in front of him individually. So thinking about Brodie in the high pick and roll with Brow and Braun spotting up for the mid range of the three or kicking it to Braun and letting him get to the middle of the floor because some guy recovering and Braun just too good
Bruh,
for you
picture
to be
this. Picture AD at the top of the key. Brodie got the rock and LeBron comes set the pick. And AD dives. What the fuck they doing?
Ooh, they should double screen the whole season.
You hear what the fuck I'm saying, bro? Like, Dwayne Wade is fucking amazing. He in my top 4 shooting guards. You understand me? 1, 2, MJ Kobe. And he not number 4. He number 3, his namesake, his number sake. But he goated in my book. I fuck with Dwayne Wade. He ain't the facilitator Brodie is. Nigga done average a triple-double for 4 or 5 seasons after losing somebody who is an all-world scorer who scores at one of the most consistent clips I have ever seen. I'm talking about Shredder. I'm talking about KD. He lost KD. And with a cast of people other niggas can't take to the playoffs except for Chris Paul, he was averaging 10 assists a game with Ibaka and Adams as his most consistent assists. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't think a nigga whose best big man was Ibaka and Adams can't facilitate a team that got LeBron and AD as the 3 and the 5?
Yeah.
Y'all stupid as fuck. And when it worked well and they dominant, keep the same narratives. Don't start all this super team shit. Because Chris Paul, who just took a team to the fucking finals, and Brodie was y'all fuck niggas 2 worst contracts in the league just a couple of years ago. And they finna be back-to-back in the finals. Cause the Lakers going this year. You bet your goddamn bottom dollar. My prediction is LeBron finna go get his 2nd scoring title.
Yeah.
Brodie gonna lead the league in assists and AD gonna go for MVP because he gonna be depoy. Because he ain't gonna have to worry about the scoring burden. He was already scaling back, being focused on that this year. LeBron was headed for MVP, and they was the number 1 fucking seed. It was, bruh, for them to act like the Lakers weren't headed to repeat before all of the injuries.
Oh, yeah.
They would have repeated this year if not for injury, and they just added the most explosive player outside of Giannis. Until the 7-foot motherfucker came in the league and played like Russell did, he was the dynamite. Now Giannis is the dynamite. But LA just got them some. He am I right? We just got the dynamite. You know what I'm saying? He a fucking cannon explosion. Russell Westbrook dynamite though, bro. We finna blow up. And the flow yours, man. Talk your shit, G.
No, man. I've been a fan of Brodie just because he's been one of the more. He's been the most balls to the wall, I guess you can call it small guys, since Allen Iverson, and I'm one of the biggest Allen Iverson fans. And so for him to have to deal with living in Oklahoma City, and I know the people in Oklahoma City loved him, but to stay there after KD left, and then I really wanted him, I wish he'd have still been here in Houston, because love seeing him here. Wasn't able to see a game because of COVID and shit, but
yeah,
he went out to Washington. That broke my fucking heart. But we got John Wall, who I'm a huge fan of. But to see him be able to go home and to have the surrounding or supporting cast that he has going home when he gets all like, because I watch a lot of interviews. Like I will listen to the commentators, and you hear the post-game interviews and you hear all the questions that they ask them, like just stupid fucking questions about like their legacy and shit. And the way he just understands who he is and what he represents and how he approaches the game and how it's never wavered. Like he just like I play basketball, bro. I'm always gonna do that. I'm always gonna go out here and work to fucking win, like no matter what the circumstance is. For him to, on the back end of his career, like I hope he's able to stay there and retire there. But I definitely see them being able to get at least 2 of these things in the next 3 or 4 years. And maybe even
as someone who can do everything, that triple-double, he proved he could do everything on the court. As somebody who can do everything, he's headed to a team where he doesn't have to for the first time in 5 years. Watch what the fuck he do when as somebody who can play balls to the wall every minute of the game, he can commit that energy to defense. Watch the Lakers be the number 1 defense in the league next year, bro.
Yeah.
And in the top 3 on offense. It's about to be he and AD gonna be up for MVP. And Bron finna go get this scoring title, bro. Because he don't have to facilitate. Niggas act like he didn't let Schroeder. Niggas act like he didn't let Schroeder take the lead this year trying to facilitate before Schroeder got injured. Y'all don't remember? He was like, I got to be in the starting lineup. LeBron was like, all right, we'll see how it go. If you fuck it up, I'm going to take it. You think he won't do that for Brodie? Like, before KD left, that Dallas team that smacked Miami was the reason they didn't go to the finals. That Spurs team that smacked Miami, the Dallas team that smacked Miami was the reason they didn't go to the finals. They, as a young team that were only together for 2 years, James Harden as a part of the threesome, went to the finals his second year. And they lost to the Big Three Heat. The third year, that Spurs team that smacked Miami, they lost to the game 6 shot. That's why they didn't go. The next year, the team that smacked Miami, that's why they didn't go. You see what I'm saying? They was in the conference finals. Niggas act like they wasn't winners. You feel what I'm saying? It took champions to prevent them from going to the championship.
Right.
They didn't lose to anyone but the champion every year. After James Harden rookie year, the OKC Thunder lost to the champion every fucking year. And then they broke the fucking team up. Sam Presti don't have this clarity, I'm sure. They lost to Dallas. They lost to Miami. They lost to the Spurs. And you break up a team that keep losing to the champion. They are almost a fucking champion.
Right. Like, what did you think?
And the piece that make you a championship team ain't even on his second contract. You're not going to let that shit grow into what it could be.
Right.
And you going to blame Brodie once y'all start losing? Fuck y'all. From the jump. It was management fault. From jump. Because James Harden, the nigga that went on to be scoring champion, and then lead the league in assists because he felt like it and then win the MVP, should have been the nigga making the late game decisions for the OKC Thunder, not Russell Westbrook. And it's Sam Presti fault that shit was happening, not Russell Westbrook.
Right.
He shouldn't have been exhausted because he had to score 40 to get y'all to that point. Because he'd had a nigga who could lead the league in scoring coming off the fucking bench happily if you paid him what he was worth. I can't wait for Brodie to get this ring because I can't wait for him to talk his shit.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Beautiful, man.
And to be honest with you, when he was on the team with Shredder, I had to hate him too. As a nigga who loved this game, I had to hate him. From the moment Shredder left, I've been rocking with this nigga from pillar to post. And I can't wait to yell when that nigga get their ring, bruh. I can't wait, man. Him and the babies and mom, man, the whole family gonna be out there shining. At home, I can't wait. Because Shawty went to UCLA too. Wifey, didn't she?
I think so.
Yeah, man. All blessings, man, to the Westbrooks, man, and the Lakers, man. I can't fucking wait.
They don't get enough credit as being there.
I pray he get at least 4 years as a Laker. I pray he get at least as many years as he spent in the wilderness as a Laker. He deserve a college tour of the hometown and what it feel like to be somewhere where he gonna get the love he deserved. Because he got the love he deserved at OKC. The conversation outside of there wasn't what it should be. But now that he home and about to be a motherfucking champion, I can't wait to watch Brodie get his motherfucking flowers while he's still here. Fuck that, wait till his knees is clapping and it's hard for him to walk and look back. I want him to get his roses right motherfucking now. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I can't wait for.
Second lie.
Straight up.
Oh. Speaking of motherfuckers.
He led the league in assists last year, by the way. So to say Chris Paul would be a better fit because he's a better facilitator, stupid as fuck. Because look at Chris Paul teammates and look at Russell Westbrook teammates last year. Put him on the Phoenix Suns and tell me he doesn't lead the league in assists like he did on the Wizards. Tell me they're a worse team. Shut y'all ass up. My bad. Talk your shit. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give him D-Book and fucking DeAndre Ayton and tell me he don't lead the league in assists again. EG, okay. Now, instead of D-Book and Ayton last year, let's say Brodie got to play with Bron and Brow last year, what his season would have looked like. Tell me an injured Bron and Brodie couldn't have smacked the Suns. Took them 6 without him. I can't wait. Y'all stupid.
Yeah, I think he'll give us 18 to 20 a game. I think he 12, 13 assists a game. I don't see the triple-double on the rebound side. I don't think he's going to have a bigger load as a rebounder. Maybe get it 7 to 8.
Shit. He a walking fast break when he get the rebound. He not gonna let that value get sacrificed. AD don't like to be in the paint. So if he going on the high pick and roll and Brodie crash and AD can flush out, this shit gonna be crazy.
Instead of, but yeah, let AD stand around.
He gonna eat, bro. I'm telling you, Brodie gonna eat, bro. He gonna eat, G. He gonna eat this shit.
I'm saying, I think he gonna average 7 to 8 a game instead of that 10, 11.
My hypotenuse, and I said that on purpose instead of hypothesis, my hypotenuse is that if anything go down, it's going to be his points. Because that's how he proved that he committed, that to not worry about scoring. Yeah. But if he want the ball in his hands just as much because he want to control over the game, if he still want to get his numbers on the rebounds and assists, they're not going to trip about that. But if he putting up 25, 27 shots a game, that's going to be him not being committed to championship basketball. But if he still got the usage rate, he still got the game in his hands. He still got a blood pumping. You feel me? So that's, I believe assists and I think he's still going to get a triple-double.
Okay.
That's why you meet and sit down with him. Because if you're not willing to sacrifice and compromise yourself to play with James Harden, you say, man, am I going to be able to be myself if I come here to be what y'all need to be unstoppable? Am I going to be able to be me? That man is a man of high character, and he know who the fuck he is.
Yeah.
I don't think he went and sat down in a meeting and said, what y'all need me to do, cuz I just want to come home. I don't think that's what happened at all. They had some wine, they had some vino, or some of that Lobos, because you know how that nigga Brian is. You know what I'm saying? He sponsored his own shit like cameras there. Yeah, it's free. You know, so feel free to take you a bottle.
Bro. Like when some niggas be like, man, we gotta collaborate, we gotta partner up. I need C.O.D. and P. Henry Trotter the four. I need that. Like, and we having these dinners and creating these, not even acquisitions, but these mergers. These A's and these M's.
And having stuff from the company farm, there's party favors and shit. Yeah, feel free to take you some of that. You know what I'm saying? That front of yourself.
You know, yeah, you got you some fresh avocados.
Yeah, avocado. Tomatoes.
But man, something else happened over the weekend, over the end of last weekend to the weekend. The SEC.
I like that watch, bro.
Expanded, man.
Dangle that bitch a little bit for me. Put that bitch in the light.
Man.
Yeah. That's how you model a timepiece. You ain't do some rapper shit. You did some, give him that again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna put some music behind that. Give me at least about 15 seconds. I'm gonna figure out something. Yeah, that's sexy. Yeah, get at him. Talk your shit.
Remember so you remember
Watch midnight.
I pulled off my brand new Gucci. Well, let's discuss style for a minute. Call back home, cop the foul hoe fitted. Yeah. So this is not a fossil. I said I fuck with fossil watches. I've traded up. I think this is my brand, man. I'm not gonna call out that 5-letter brand until they come with that check, man. But this is
shouts out to Peter Pablo. Y'all gonna have to pay me, cuz.
Yeah, y'all gotta pay me. Y'all gotta pay me. Yeah, GSH is on his way. Y'all got to pay me. They ain't gonna be able to go back and be like, well, yeah, they fuck with us in the beginning of their podcast. Yeah, come spend your money with us. Like, nah, I didn't. Before we even mention your ass. But
I did.
SEC expanded, man. Picked up 2 new teams. Who are those teams, you may ask? You probably already know.
What they did right here?
Oklahoma. Huh?
What is this?
Chop session.
Okay. My bad. He said I ain't even gonna do it funny. I know how he gonna click
timestamps. So he know when the subject change. But this having a show is some. You get to see this shit as a finished product. We get to be a part of this shit. Like, that's why creation is fun, because we get to be a part of the creative process. Most of the laughs and the funny shit and all like the headaches, all that shit happen, and you don't even see us. Like, that nigga tension got high. He yelled to me about comment on this shit. You wouldn't imagine how many times that shit happened throughout the week. This shit be happening. But the SEC expanded, man. We picked up Texas and Oklahoma. And I just wanted to chop it up a quick second about how, like, what do you think about like that expansion? Like, what do you think happens in light of that expansion from like, because they obviously were in this, at one point it had already happened. SEC picked up Texas A&M and Missouri. And so now picking up the blue bloods in that conference, like the 2 biggest blue bloods, like nobody's won more games probably over the last 20 years outside of Alabama, LSU, and Clemson than Oklahoma. And then you pick up Texas, which is Texas, like they got the Longhorn Network. So you take the identity away from the Big 12 essentially by them losing Texas and Oklahoma. I wanted to hear like kind of your thoughts about, because I've listened to a few different perspectives, man. And so to get the perspective of somebody to see like what's the long-term effect of this shit, like to be because whenever you start with a product or a service, you want to be the first person to market. And so for the SEC to jump out there and be like, all right, like let's go like shake the landscape a little bit. And this is definitely a landscape shaper and shaker. So definitely wanted to hear your thoughts about what the hell you think this means for college football as a whole, and like this will be kind of I don't know how long this conversation is going to be, but I want to talk about like some other factors in this. So let me hold up before I throw that question to you. The SEC is right now.
Let me give you something quick right there. Let me give you something quick right now on that.
Go ahead.
To respond quickly, what is this? Initially, from what you said and what I've gathered, I believe this to be something that hit in the middle of the show last week. You remember the thing that scared the hell out of me, and I was like, that loud ass thunder?
Bolt? Yeah.
This is the thunder. The lightning bolt was that $300 million contract that the SEC network signed for the afternoon game. How do you justify that? By having Texas versus Florida, Oklahoma, Georgia. You remember what them numbers did in the playoffs? Now you get that in the regular season at 3:30 on CBS. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think this is thunder. I think that was the lightning. That was the SEC saying, we are signing a contract comparable to the one the NFL is about to take a step up from.
Yeah.
That is the SEC creating something half as strong by being damn near 16 teams as the NFL. That's what I think the SEC just did. They became the NFC of college football.
I'm glad you said that.
What does this mean long term? To give you a short, quick little sound bite too.
All right, go ahead.
There'll be a buoyed effect because having more high quality teams means more losses in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But when a team is truly dominant, strength of schedule will mean that SEC championship losses don't exclude them from the playoff. So while there may be some 3-loss teams that get kicked in the nuts, like if y'all played Texas, y'all would have lost 2. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? Them type of situations. Had y'all not played Florida Atlantic instead of having to have an in-conference game against somebody of that caliber, you know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be the negative, but long-term, the strength of schedule benefit is going to be unstoppable for the teams that are truly dominant. The 2-loss teams, it's going to be 3 and 4 SEC teams in the conversation.
Yeah.
Because of their schedules.
Yeah. All right. So what I wanted to do off the back of that, I appreciate them comments, man, because I think we have some of the same like sentiments where I was like, damn, like the SEC now is 16 strong teams. Right? That is half the fucking.
How you hating from outside the SEC? You can't even get in. Once it's 16, baby, we locked. We locked, baby.
And I think that it's the perfect fucking number because it's a 4x4. So I was thinking,
to interject one last little piece, what it means long term, what the Lakers just did as a counterpunch to what the Nets did, the other conferences may be looking to poach big names from other conferences.
Oh, 100%.
So watch the ACC be on the hunt. That's all I'm saying. Watch the ACC be on the hunt for a whale.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Or 2.
So they ain't gonna sit by. That ain't the game plan.
The SEC right now constructed is Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Missouri, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Vandy, and now you got Texas and fucking Oklahoma. Like that's crazy. And I to my thought about this shit was, man, what if you had it like in the NFL? Say you got the NFC, right? You got the NFC East, North, South, West. And the thing you gonna hate is you got to see 2 years go by before they play everybody now. Or if you start the season, like everybody wants those warm-up games, but if you have like your 14 games, 14 games roughly, and it's just conference. Like you start your conference schedule week 1. Like if you had four, like you have the North, South, the East, the West, you got 4 teams in each of these conferences. Like, do you play could you play a conference schedule? You got the SEC East, the SEC West, but then you got 2 divisions. Even in that, you play your divisions within your 4 stack, and then on your side you compete, and then you have the SEC champion come. Which is how they do it now. It's just a larger pool of teams, and it's more evenly spread because you have that 4x4 instead of 7 and 7. So maybe some creative ways for them to create a schedule where they are, where it's. But I know folks are gonna want.
It's probably be biannual cross league play.
Yeah,
you switch the teams that you play out of the West. You see what I'm saying? It's 8 teams in the West, 8 teams in the East. You play 4 teams this year, you'll play the other 4 next year. That's probably how they do it to balance it.
Right. And the thing now that you can't.
Is that too simple?
Not a bit. No, it's not too simple at all.
Okay.
The thing you see now is how much of a business this shit actually is. Because now you bring in Texas and Oklahoma with allowing players to capitalize off of their likeness, which means now it's really going to be tough to beat the SEC and getting players. Like, it's going to be big tough because of the team that you have playing, because of the eyeballs you have, like the SEC.
Even the small teams will know they will have a big platform when they play 4 teams from the East or 4 teams from the West that are the big teams. Right. Even the small schools will get the big players. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I feel like it's pretty monumental, man.
Oh yeah.
And like,
patent pending on that other line too. We need to get our merch up. The GSH, how you hating from outside the SEC when you can't even get in shirts. We need them ready for the kickoff. And then had the 16 teams on the back. Had that on the front, the 16 teams on the back with SEC at the top. You with it?
Oh, hell yeah. You know how excited I am, though, nigga? I get to go 2 hours away, either northwest or northeast to College Station, northeast to College Station, northwest to Austin, and I get to go see possibly Bama play, possibly Georgia play.
Oh, like shit. Texas.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about being able to go to UGA to catch some of them games.
Right.
Because I fuck with that.
Yeah. So to have...
It's just a little 50-minute ride for me because I'm already on the east side.
And I think it's perfect now because...
I get to Athens quick, man.
Like you got... Like all of these motherfuckers are still south. Like it's still the South. Like people consider Texas the Southwest because it's so fucking big. But both of those motherfuckers, like neither one of those teams, Texas A&M or Texas, cross the midpoint of Texas. Like it's still southeast relatively. So you still maintain.
For people who don't understand, the trip from Atlanta to Texas is about 930 miles. Texas is like 980 across. So you can't say it's a part of the West. The midpoint of Texas is where the West started. That's why it's Southwest. Because it's a part of the South to Southeast. A good bit of it is. Period. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Port Arthur, Texas is closer to Atlanta than it is to El Paso. Where Pimp C and Bun B is from is closer to Atlanta than it is to El Paso, Texas. So stop fucking with Texans when they talk about seceding from the Union. They the size of a country. They're bigger than Germany. They're bigger than Great Britain. They're bigger than Italy. They're bigger than a lot of them European countries put together. Texas big as fuck, man. Leave Texas alone,
my dog
man.
Drove from fucking Wyoming. We drove from Wyoming to Houston, Texas. The majority of that ride was in Texas. We went from Wyoming.
It was an 18-hour trip. 10 hours of the trip was in Texas.
It was 22 hours.
Oh, I was asleep for 3 of it. Hey, go yeah. It was a good ride though. I was high as a C.O.D for all of it.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Colorado. I fucks with Amsterdam, but it's hard to go out the country when you got places in the country where it's legal now.
Yeah.
For them type of trips and them type of kick it sessions. Amsterdam different though.
I need a public service announcement right quick to the people that give me some headlines. Hey, get this shit popping. Because Pete trying to get back on this reefer. And I got some goals in my head. I need y'all to get this shit popping so I can hit these goals so I can get back on this reefer, man. I've been off the wagon for a minute. And I'm not hopping back on until this is a personal choice. But I need y'all to help me with this thing, man. I'm reaching out to the people because I'm a man of the people, for the people, by the people. But I need that. Yeah, man, I'm excited about this SEC expansion.
Subscribe, rate, review, tell your friends.
Yeah, they need to. I'm definitely the SEC. If they was listed on a stock exchange, I'd buy stock.
It's interesting, bro.
Man. Yeah. And when you talk about college football, you got to talk about where those, especially with the SEC, with the conference that's put more people in the NFL than any other conference, I think, over the past 10 years, 20 years. This conference has put more people in, we'll say 10 years. It's probably 50.
Oh, it's definitely 20. You got to think from when we were in college to now.
Right.
But also, bro, think about where the Heisman winners have come from in the past 15 years. Two of the quarterbacks, Kyler Baker, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Talking the Vince Youngs of the world, Texas. We talking the Derrick Henrys, the Mark Ingrams, the who else in Alabama that snuck that motherfucker? We talking the Adrian Petersons, Oklahoma, Devontae Smith last year's. We talking all of the Heisman winners right here in the SEC. Talking 8 or 9 of the past 15 championships right here in the SEC. You bring Oklahoma and Texas in, we can go back 20 years and say 12, 13 out of the championships. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This shit is the title conference. That's what I mean. This is the NFC now, bro. It is a professional league that has the most valuable games, the most valuable teams. These universities are about to, do you know how sexy UGA campus about to be with the money that's finna come in that get funneled through the athletic department to the school? Oh my God.
Stupid.
Oh my God. The facilities at these universities will make people like, you could go to another school if you want to, or you could go to a school that'll give you a bionic knee in 4 years. If you did have an ACL, you're going to have a bionic ACL by the time you get to the NFL fucking around coming through UGA. Because they're going to fuck around, build a building that Emory come do research at. You know how they do old crossover shit. They go get the top researchers in brain surgeries and shit. Like, y'all fuck with the SEC if you want to. When y'all see Ole Miss and fucking Mississippi State start shooting up the ranks of fucking medical schools, it ain't gonna be a surprise. It's gonna have to do with these deals.
Yeah.
Bruh, the Alabama quarterback, the first nigga to sign $1 million deal. He the first 7-figure dude in college. He already got $1 million endorsement.
That's fantastic.
You know what that's gonna do for the SEC, man?
Man.
You know what that's gonna do for the first nigga to beat him, if anybody ever do?
Bryce Young, I think that's his name.
It about to go stupid.
It's about to go hammer time, man. It's about to go hammer time.
It really
You know what else about to go hammer time, my nigga?
What's that?
NFL season here.
Bow, bow, bow.
We're going to beat that out.
What's that?
Can you say NFL?
You can.
Okay, all right, cool. NFL season here. But man, we excited about this, man. This is one of our favorite times of the year.
He said, "Can you say that?"
Oh, damn! Like we eat, sleep, shit, breathe NFL whenever that time of the year roll around, and we got some special shit planned for y'all. We gonna combine NFL with That's a Bet with these chop sessions, and it's about to go crazy. Fantasy football, y'all about to get some of the best research you never had here, man. Our shows will be out. We record on Mondays, so you about to get some commentary on Monday nights. On Wednesdays when we drop, you'll have how we feel about games that week, man. And so whatever players you got in your lineup, you'll have ahead of time. We're going to start doing some writing based on that. Posting that to the Patreon. Yeah, so y'all going to have to pay for that, but we all pay for that. Like I've won in the past 3 years, I've won 5 different leagues, man. So really tapped into this thing. My dog has asked for my advice. I've asked for his advice. And so, yeah, we just going to let y'all know this is a show you're going to want to tune into when it comes to fantasy football, when it comes to
I've been a player away from the championship 2 seasons, meaning had I played a different player on my bench, I'd have been the champion 2 seasons in a row. I'm going to get it this year, though. Shit over with, kid.
Yeah, man. I'm in 3 leagues this year. I plan on winning at least 2 of them. And barring anything crazy, I plan on winning all 3 of them shits. So, yeah, we're going
I'd like to start a GSH one, and you definitely going to lose that one.
Nah, I'm not. But cool. Because you're not going to have my help on it. Now I'm trying to win this league. So I'm not finna tell you about the play.
I was just about to say, we should both have a team, but also have a GSH team and be talking to each other about who to draft.
We should just do a GSH team and let these other, like, we should just have we should co-manage a team.
And then have a league.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, man. NFL football and college football, where I, made a lot of money at when I was doing these bets. I'm not going to give you any betting advice. I'm just going to give you some information. So if that's something that you do,
and I may tell you where I'm betting.
Yeah,
we may bet with each other. You see which one of us you'd go with. And then it's not advice. It's just you gambling once again. That's not us giving you advice.
Yeah.
It's us gambling.
Yeah. Tune in. Give me some headlines. Reach out to us. We're going to be on the socials, letting y'all know some things we're talking about in this space. Yeah, man. We about to really get into this thing. How you feel about this upcoming football season, G?
This is one of the craziest seasons. I'm looking forward to, I was just about to kind of, it's the same answer, but I'll tilt it to your question. This is the most knowledgeable and ignorant I've been about a season. I feel like I'm up to current on everything that's happened. I don't have any fucking idea for real about what's going to happen. I think going with the Blue Bloods, picking the people who won the conferences, the different divisions and shit, like just picking the guys who usually win, I think that's going to be real misguided this year. So I'm most excited about having no idea how this going to play out, but having a lot of strong guesses to put out there. I got a lot of predictions. Absolutely nothing I'm confident about. A lot of shit I want to happen and a lot of shit I think might happen. And I'm going to lean into it.
We plan on having a show where we talk about this exclusively. You want to tease any one of your predictions? Or something you've been thinking about?
I think CeeDee Lamb going to be the best receiver on the Cowboys.
Okay.
Potentially the NFC. And depending on what D-Hop and Tyreek Hill do, I think CeeDee Lamb might lead the league in receiving yards if he stay healthy the whole season. He got 17 games. I think that boy... I think the level of growth we will see from this young man with NFL resources is going to be astounding this year.
Mm.
I'm not necessarily forecasting that he will be my prediction for receiving yards leader, but I am saying it would not surprise me if that young man led the league in receiving yards this year at all.
You heard it here first, people. You heard it here first.
CeeDee Lamb
teasing his predictions. Can I make one of mine? I'll give you one of mine as well.
Bless me.
Tua Tagovailoa will be one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league this year, statistically. And definitely...
I can't wait till we pick that division.
Top 4, top 3 in fantasy scoring quarterbacks.
TT.
Overall players. Tua Tagovailoa.
T-double-T?
T-double-T. Bro, he is teamed up with Jalen Waddle, who was the best receiver on that team before he got hurt. Devontae Smith wasn't the best receiver on that team. Jalen Waddle was. Yeah.
You just saying that because you coach little man, cuz.
I did coach Jalen.
You fought
I didn't
with
coach
homie.
Jalen. I didn't coach. I coached at the school where Jalen went.
You know what I mean. You know what I Yeah, I ain't say you taught the nigga how to catch passes.
I just wanted to get...
You just saying that because you knew him as a youth. You knew him as a youth. Tell them what you did, coach. Shouts out to the young ladies.
Oh,
shout them out real good. What was y'all mascot?
The Knights.
Yeah, man. He coached the Lady Knights, man. They was out there kicking ass. That was some dope shit.
Nice. Basketball.
Pico, football, basketball, multi-talented, man. We got a lot of different knowledge, man. So know that when my brother talk about shit, he's done this from I played it at a high level, went undefeated in both sports, respect my gangster, champion shit, and I coached this shit at the collegiate level, and I went back and gave back while working 2 jobs and coached this shit at the high school level, coached that shit. Y'all fuck with girl dads and people who build that Mamba Academy. My nigga P out here showing love, man. And I'm a student of the game and just a lover from a fan perspective when it comes to hooping. But on that football shit, you be hard pressed to find a nigga who I didn't play on the offense where I didn't call audibles from the offensive line for the offense. Nigga, I was checking the passes. Like, I know this shit. I know this shit from my stance and reading the defense and the motion when I can't see but 3 feet of it. You feel what I'm saying? So y'all gonna get some good shit this year, man. This is the first football season for GSH. And we gonna be in like episode, in like 20 when we really get deep into that football shit. But we may go out into a field and recap some of this shit so we could break down plays and what's happening so you can get a little bit more into the minutia of what's going on and really be able to tell who fucked up. Because most plays, people ain't doing stuff right, somebody fucking up. And that's what made football funny as hell and made me really like it, to watch and see who fucking up. And then see how people capitalize off of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's very simple. Because you can move the ball down the field and it be really good and entertaining football with nobody making any mistakes. Just very talented people executing. But people be fucking up, yo. Like, nigga did not be paying attention. Ball gets snapped. Boom, he not square to the line of scrimmage. Nigga coming right at him. When he do square himself, the nigga done switched his hips and he out of there. It's that simple. To watch Lamar Jackson put somebody in a blender is poetry in motion. And all he got to do is step hard. He could be running in the direction he running and take a hard step and they think he going the other way. He just keep going. He just make you do something wrong. Because if you just keep running at him and don't break your speed and trust your angle of pursuit, you probably hit him 5 times out of 10. You're going to miss him 10 out of 10 trying to counter him. You just got to do it. You feel what I'm saying? People be fucking up, bro. If everybody on the defense just ran at him and didn't try to counter the shit he was doing, somebody would run into that motherfucker. But he stop and cut this way, niggas stop and cut that way. So there's a cutback lane over here now. If everybody just kept running at that nigga, when he cut, you just took a loop. When he cut back, he'd meet you. You feel what I'm saying?
Like being on punt and kickoff team. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Because you gon' like, no matter what that person does, if he cut, you there. If he try to make another cut, guess who there? The person who's running in their lane. Do not follow the ball. Everything, that's why they call it pursuit angles. We gonna hit y'all with a lot of shit this season.
Facts.
Man. Like people
to get like, parallel to Lamar Jackson is to lose. Yeah. Because you're not getting back to the line of scrimmage at the speed that he do. You got to sack him from in front of him. Stay in your motherfucking rushing lane. Shots out to the Ball family. But yeah, stay in your lane, man. No copyright infringement.
Square business, man. Can I get some headlines?
Give me some headlines.
All right, man. In light of...
You did that tight, cuz. You had 4 to spare, cuz. Throw them folds like up.
That. Oh, man. So we got... This is from the New York Post. Novak Djokovic fails to medal. Throws tantrum in Olympics farewell. This is from NPR. Novak Djokovic, the world's #1 tennis player, fails to medal at the Olympics. This is from the San Francisco Chronicle. Hold on, they trying to get me to buy some shit. I ain't trying to do all that.
Bro, character.
Man. They gonna pay either. Novak Djokovic Olympic meltdown of his house.
Close that tab. It's fucking your audio up. Close the San Francisco Chronicle.
NPR.
They fucked your computer audio up. Close the San Francisco Chronicle. Pass on them.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose NPR because I think that's the one that I can get you to read. Like, you're on NPR. You feel what I'm saying? So I choose the NPR, Novak Djokovic.
AS and my boys. Novak Djokovic, the world's #1 tennis player, fails to medal at the Olympics. Since his arrival at the Olympic Village, tennis star Novak Djokovic has regaled fellow athletes with his techniques for mental strength, dealing with pressure, and quote, how to bounce back if you lost your focus, unquote. Apparently, even Djokovic sometimes has trouble following his own advice after a shocking loss to Germany's Alexander Zverev on Friday. The world's #1 ranked Djokovic lost again Saturday, this time to Spain's Pablo Carreño Busta. Zverev now goes on to play Russia's Karen Khachanov in Sunday's final. Novak Djokovic fails to medal at the 2020 Tokyo Games. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because one of those headlines, the San Francisco Chronicle, they tried to hold me. We'll let them have
I couldn't even hear that one.
Yeah.
What was that one?
They tried to hold me. They like, hey, you got to pay for this, cuz. Like, damn, nah, I'm not gonna pay. I'm not paying.
Give me some headlines, not how much the headlines cost.
Right. How much the headlines cost? Like, we giving headlines out here, man. Yeah. So,
except on Patreon.
Djokovic.
At patreon.com/give me some headlines. Go ahead and subscribe, man. Y'all gonna get discounts on merch. That little bit of cheddar ching is gonna save you way more money to support us being able to give y'all this in a huge fashion and to get some flight decks from P. Y'all want to go and support the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/give me some headlines.
Yeah.
And if you are a supporter of Give Me Some Headlines and are a business owner or a vendor who goes out to different events and things like that, let us know. We'll show love. Straight up.
Damn right.
You can see that subscription as an advertisement fee. A little monthly advertisement, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see the screen. There's plenty of sexy space up here. Patreon.com/give me some headlines. Rising tide raises all boats. Tell your friends.
Tell your ma, tell your pa. Yeah, man. Novak Djokovic had some comments, which is why I made this all about him. This give me some headlines. I wanted to kind of pin my dog into a box and choose one of these stories about him because we going in a direction where Novak Djokovic said that, I don't know if he called her a coward or he said that Simone Biles couldn't handle the pressure when she decided that she was going to back out of the final. I don't know if it was the uneven bars or I think it might have been the uneven bars in the Olympics. And we being the United States of America ended up taking the silver in that her replacement ended up taking the silver. But
what she did was the last event was the uneven bars that she was about to compete in. What she withdrew from was team competition, and then she also excluded herself from the solo competition.
Okay.
Yeah, team all around competition, and then the solo competition, which the young Asian woman won. You remember you read the headline about her?
Suni, yeah, I think Suni Lee.
Yep.
Sunisa Lee. Shout out, young lady. Congratulations on you winning your first gold medal. I think it was your first gold medal. If it wasn't, shout out to all your gold medals, Miss Suni. But yeah, Novak Djokovic said that Simone Biles, one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated Olympian of all time,
who just announced she coming back to compete in the balance beam, which is not one of the events she was expected to medal in. So she is not doing it for glory. She is doing it for the love of what she does and truly believing she is strong enough to go out there and compete.
Exactly.
Shots out to Shawna.
And a lot of people have chimed in on being on the opposite side of what I'm going to be on, which is the Simone Biles she misrepresented the United States, which, yeah, fuck all y'all. Or she's coward, or she couldn't handle the pressure. Now, this is a person who is one of the most decorated Olympians of all time, can't handle the pressure. Fuck all y'all.
This is a young woman who in this Olympics is the only remaining member of this team who is a survivor of the Larry Nassar abuse. You gonna say this young woman ain't strong? She's already become the greatest gymnast we've ever had in the wake of that fuck shit.
Gymnast. Yeah, the GOAT. In the wake of that shit, she's the GOAT gymnast. In the wake of that.
She don't have to put shit else on her resume to never be able to be accused of being weak. Fuck y'all. My bad. But bruh, you know what I'm saying?
And fuck Novak Djokovic also, because his punk ass had the audacity to make these comments and then show up and lose 2 matches in a fucking row and then get mad enough to throw his racket into the side of the fucking net and break it into the net post and break it. So who can't handle the fucking pressure? You showed up and didn't get.
And he quit on his teammate and then compete in doubles.
Yeah.
Pussy nigga.
You quit.
Quitter.
You lost your temper. Mister, I'm going to tell everybody how I'm Mr. Level-headed.
No character, no metal, no fervor.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
I don't even know that last word apply, but it sounds like a good criticism.
Pump ass, bitch.
You're fuck boy, cuz. This is Novak Djokovic slander. Fuck.
Slander. Slander.
Nah, it's not slander because it's accurate appraisal of his disrespect for a GOAT at what she does and someone who handled not being of sound mind and not putting her body through something her mind wasn't ready to carry her through, handled it as a professional and as a woman and strongly, and received criticism from a person who obviously placed under the same circumstances couldn't do what she did. You don't have the mettle to carry yourself like this young woman. So keep your mouth shut when it comes to speaking on her. Because you just proved you don't have the mettle that she does. Period. Like, you can't fuck with Shawty.
And I don't think no more need to be said about that.
Straight up.
My dog handled that brilliantly.
Straight up. It's just like when niggas be calling quarterbacks trash in the NFL. If they a starter, they one of 32 at what they do in the world. Tell me you top 32 accountant in the world. Tell me you a top 32 defense lawyer in the world at what you do. That everybody who has ever picked up a motherfucking briefcase and wanted to be a lawyer wants your job, and you got one of the 32 best jobs in the world. Tell me you got that, and then go criticize Ryan Fitzpatrick. You feel what I'm saying? Tell me you one of 32, and then tell me that boy from Harvard ain't milking this shit and having a fun ass fucking ride. Give me that nigga career all day and say whatever the fuck you want to. That boy done played with B. Marshall, Tua Tagovailoa. He done had some cool ass moments. And he done got out there and shined and slung that rock. Shit. And he been one of 32 for a long enough time to where fuck your opinion on him. That man, an NFL quarterback, and he'll starter by any measure.
Square business. Still doing it, bro.
Straight up.
Last thing you want to do as a starting quarterback is look and see Ryan Fitzpatrick as your backup, because he playing 6 of them games this year.
Straight up. At least. And I extend it for you. When you want to call one of them NBA niggas trash, just remember that it's only like 30, 32 teams, and them bitches got 12-man rosters. So if you ain't top 360 in your profession, shut up. Shut you down. Patrick Beverly better at what he do than you are at what you do. As much as I hate that nigga, he is better at what he do than you are at what you do. And I ain't even gonna cap. It's more than 300 podcasts. We got work to do. So until we top 300, I ain't gonna call the Patrick Beverleys of the world trash. I will simply criticize their play. You heard it here first. Patrick Beverly, you better at what you do, ranking wise, than I am at the moment.
At the moment.
So there will be no calling of trash at the moment. But I'm working. And when I get there, oh boy, I got some words for you. It's going to be a flight deck for your ass. I swear. I got a flight deck for you, boy. When we reach top 300, I'm on your ass, Patrick, baby. Hey, but until then, you'll get love and respect. But I'm on your ass, Patrick Beverly. Wait till we in the top 300. Give me some headlines. If y'all want some Patrick Beverly slander, if y'all want trash talk from GSH, get us in the top 300. And if you want us kicking the KDs in the world in the shin, get us in the top 5. We'll talk our shit. But if a motherfucker top 100 in the NFL, if we ain't past top 100, and he made the top 100 list, no slander. You heard it here first, man. Y'all put us in the realm to talk the shit you want us to talk. Blow GSH up, man. Humility is for suckers. If we ranked higher than you, shit flow downhill. That's how plumbing works.
Square business, man. Oh, man. Speaking of something that ain't shit.
I need a song that I can
I tell you something good, bro?
Song that I
Hey, man, tell me something good, G.
My dro to some
Man,
I can
this
fuck
is
some
a
hoes to.
congruent.
Play that in my old
Tell me
school.
something good
Play that
and
in
rep
my
your
old
city.
school. That feel good
Got
off
some
a
great
pill or two.
news
So
out of
baby,
the
what you trying to do? A song
wonderful
that I can roll
town,
to.
city, area of Hampton, VA. We like to find stories from you, for you, that come from places that you may not be as familiar with. So they come from, not just the New Yorks, not just the LAs, not just the Chicagos, the Atlantas, the Houstons, the Miamis. We like to go try to find the ones that are kind of hiding somewhere else and that aren't a part of everybody's consciousness or hadn't made national news. But shout out to the first Black-owned brewery in Hampton Roads. They celebrated their grand opening. The owners of 1865 Brewing Company recently opened up the first Black-owned brewery in Hampton, man. And I did some research. Currently, right now, it's like roughly 1% of breweries are owned by or minority owned, not Black owned, minority owned. So that is a
diversity.
Most of our beer is coming from folks who don't look like us. So it's dope to have a group of people who are getting together and bringing us those adult beverages and sharing that experience of how they came to create their products at a brewery and a place where people can congregate and enjoy themselves over some adult beverages. And so this is the first Black-owned brewery in Hampton Roads. They officially opened business on Friday of last week, and that brewery is located on
They
Mallory
full size
Street.
or micro? Are they full size or micro?
I think they're a full size brewery. Yeah,
well, that's dope.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's located,
that's good for real.
Yeah, located on Mallory Street in the Phoebus area of Hampton. So if you're in the Hampton area, I know Virginia is kind of there's a Tri-City area, I think, man. Go and check out 1865 Brewery. Its owners, William Comer and Rodney Malone, originally planned to open in 2020, but the pandemic caused some issues, and so they were able to fight through that and still bring this thing to life. And shout out to Mr. Malone's daughter. That's who I got this story from. Somehow it made it to my timeline on Twitter, and so I wanted to get this thing some airspace, because I think we spend a lot of time when we live together in Atlanta at breweries, man. So definitely want folks to enjoy that experience. If it's not something that you've done before, it's a dope date. Take some folks to a brewery, and we got a few out here, a bunch of them out here that I'd be going to. So if ever I'm in that area, I'll definitely come to see y'all at 1865, man. Definitely come to see y'all at 1865. But what's your favorite brewery that you've been to?
Oh man, you already know, man. Sweetwater, man.
Yeah, Sweetwater.
That thing was so funny, man. The owner was always out there. It was like playing Where's Waldo. He just pop up like Dago in the t-shirt. You see him. I still remember that day we came straight from work, and you just hear somebody cussing, and I'm like, and I look over my shoulder. He like, man, what the fuck y'all doing? And I'm like, what you mean? You like, man, you here with ties on and shit, man? That ain't the vibe. What you got going on, man? I was like, man, we came straight from work. He like, okay, my bad. All right. let me get you some extra tickets. You know what I'm saying? I said, my job. You know what I'm saying? Tickets is beers, and for those who uninitiated, you go pay like $8. You get a free glass that you could take with you, and then you got like 8 drink tickets. And you could try any of the new brews they had on tap, stuff that was just brewed that day that they were bottling, and you could take the tour for free as many times as you wanted when you were there. You could take the tour for free and see the plant and the bottling process and get some of the brews that were being made. Like, it was some crazy shit. It was and it was always live music. It was a dope vibe.
Yeah.
What's your favorite brewery you've been to though? My bad. Speak on Sweetwater, because you shared that experience. I probably won't know your joint because you've been to a lot more of them guys, but yeah. Go ahead and hit that guy.
So I love Sweetwater because of that atmosphere, man. It was in a really cool part of town. It was easy to get to from the apartment.
Facts. Like this before Uber, cuz.
Yeah.
We had to be able to make it to and fro.
Right. And so we would slide over that thing, man. And like, it was always a good launching point for the rest of the night. Because you pay $8, you were able to, get in that space. And like, that's usually what happened. It's like, what we usually would do is like, whoever drove over there, like, folks would pay for you they would give you like at least one of their drink tickets, some shit like that, just so you were sober enough to drive home and shit, but like you wasn't drinking like all of your drink tickets. And then if you was going to be essentially the designated driver, then you wouldn't have to pay.
Designated drivers.
You was good to go.
Designated drivers didn't have to pay to get into Sweetwater. They gave you a small cup and I think 2 drink tickets, because that will keep your blood alcohol level below the legal limit, because it's like half of a beer. So 2 of them is 1 beer, and 2 put you over the limit if you go get in the car immediately. That's why they give you that. So you can still go sample some stuff. But that's what they mean by you'll give them a ticket, because then they go fill a glass.
Yeah. My favorite brewery is St. Arnold's. It's Texas. I think it's Houston. Oh man. Ooh, that's tough. I've been to 8th Wonder too. I'd say St. Arnold's. St. Arnold's, because they give you food, and they'll give you, like, they have a menu at they joint. And we got the opportunity one time, a friend of mine who passed away, he had his retirement party there. And so for his retirement party, I got to go with them and like do like a private tasting. So they let you taste the entire menu during the private tasting, and then you get to choose what you want for like the menu. So I went with him during the private tasting. I went with his significant other for the private tasting. But I'd say St. Arnold's Brewery, because I was introduced to them by the president of the company or some shit like that. Like, there was a block party in Houston, and it was close to where I lived, and my partner's parents lived on the same block as the president of the company and shit. And he was like brand new to the neighborhood, and so they had like this chili, it was like chili and ice cream, this wild ass chili and ice cream block party, and like music and shit like in the middle of the street. And he was like, well, I ain't got no chili, no ice cream, but like he had like folks he had some folks. So he had an engagement later on that night at his house. And so he had the folks who was helping do the catering and shit. They drug out like a bunch of coolers of fucking beer, and was like, hey, y'all have at it. We was like, what? Like, this is a lot of beer? He was like, I got a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
Trust me, I got enough. And so he gave us like 3 or 4 coolers full of St. Arnold's beers, man. And so, I think that was before we went to that retirement party, but I'd say that was my favorite brewery. But it's another one here called 8th Wonder. That's dope as fuck too. So breweries, man, they super dope dates. If you live close to one and had a chance to go, I'd take that.
Me and Shouter were trying to go to the one out there, the Coors joint out there, and when we was on one of them Colorado trips. But and I'm saying Shouter just in case old girl watch this shit and be trying to figure out who on the mountain I was going to Colorado with. But the other chicks in the car were trying to go shopping, so they didn't want to hit the brewery. But we started to drop them off and then go back to that bit, but it took too long to go to and fro. But that one thing I want to do, I want to go to Coors and I want to see a game at Coors Field.
Yeah.
Cause the whole cold process and all that bullshit, I want to have to wear a coat and go figure out what's going on with all that shit. You know what I'm saying? What's all frozen? How you keep the pipes from freezing? I want to ask dumbass questions that the tour guide don't got answers to. You feel what I'm saying? Hit them with that Kanye. You don't got that answer, Sway. Give me a tour guide who know what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Just be asking stupid ass questions.
Well, bitch.
Yeah. What's your dream brewery that you ain't been to? You researched any? Just like I gotta get to this one.
I want to do the. It's not a brewery. It's a distilling. I'm not distilling. I want to go to. It's a winery in Argentina that I want to go to. The homies sell wine here, and he been talking about all the wines that he get from Argentina. They all from Argentina. So he's like talking about this and shit. And I be one I was telling you about this weekend, $160 bottle of champagne, not champagne, like wine. That's a red wine. Like, I can't wait till Shawty get home tonight so we can pop that bitch over. She got back too late last night.
Man, you just told me something good, but close the show out by telling the people what you cooking to pair with that wine, and I'll just cut it right there.
Oh, shit. So, my plan is I'm make some, my homie got some, he fuck with this thing called Meal Guy. And Meal Guy is a lean, kind of like antelope type of animal, or deer type joint. So I got some Meal Guy, like ground Meal Guy, and like they mix it in with like a little bit of beef so you get some fatty content. So I'm Meal Guy is more of a reddish meat. And Meal Guy, pasta, and some asparagus with that wine, man. And then I'm gonna have my dessert.